Tonight, a University of Idaho director got placed on leave.
Moscow residents got forced to evacuate their homes.
And Women in STEM Week comes to WSU. Murrow News 8 starts now.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is Pullman's only nightly newscast. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Matt Money.
And I'm Afi Kisham. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
At Washington State University, the Services and Activities Fee Committee met last night to hear from groups on campus about allocating funds for next year. Casey Shainline joins us from on campus to give us details on the meeting. Casey?
Thanks, Matt. More than 12 organizations and groups met here at the French Administration Building last night to request funds for next year. Groups including the UREC, CUB, and the Athletic Department all made presentations to the Service and Activities Committee, which consists of student leaders, administrators, and faculty. That committee will meet again tonight to go over final presentations and deliberates tomorrow before announcing the final SNA fees on Thursday.
So Casey, what benefits would this funding provide for different groups?
The Services and Activities fee would benefit each group in different ways. For example, the CUB asked for more than $1.6 million to accommodate increased hourly wages for workers, while the UREC asked for more than $1.5 million to accommodate their clubs and groups. Casey Shainline, Murrow News 8.
Following our report on recent ASWSU protests, the committee conducted a self-review of their organization's year. Vice President Garrett Kalt says this is an opportunity to look back and improve. Regulations passed included developing a better communication department and providing more roles in the University Affairs Department, including a Deputy Director of Student Affairs and a Deputy Director of Academic Affairs.
This week is Women in STEM Week, with events showcasing successful WSU alumni in STEM. Bradley Warren attended last night's event and highlights the others going on this week.
The WSU Society of Women in Engineering has organized a week showcasing women in the STEM industry.
Women in STEM, there really aren't that many of us. And so essentially, women in STEM kind of have banded together over the years, and especially in engineering, just because there still are so few. I think especially with women and women who are considering career choices in STEM, in traditionally the male-dominated positions, just seeing someone who's kind of made it and that you can relate to, I think is fantastic, absolutely phenomenal.
We're doing this in order to help celebrate and encourage and mentor women and females, and to focus on our successful alumni.
Women in STEM Week starts Monday, April 2nd and goes through Friday the 6th with many different opportunities to showcase women in STEM.
Kind of the kickoff event is tonight, the Hidden Figures movie, and then we have a keynote speaker tomorrow night, as well as a panel of successful women in STEM that are able to talk to us about various topics.
For a complete list of events happening this week, you can visit the Facebook page for the WSU Society of Women in Engineering. I'm Bradley Warren, Murrow News 8.
3 more WSU women, this time from the School of Pharmacy, won top prizes at the National Student Pharmacist Compounding Competition in Florida. The students won trophies and each got $1,000 for the WSU Compounding Lab, as well as other gift certificates. Each student's award equals about $3,000. 2 of the students placed 4th in the same competition last year.
The University of Idaho placed Athletic Director Rob Speer on administrative leave for 60 days, following a controversial and highly publicized debacle. University leaders plan to review the, quote, process failures, end quote, related to sexual assault complaints against the U of I football player in 2012 and 2013. The ASUI Senate will hold a meeting to vote whether or not to recommend firing Speer.
The owner of a Moscow, Idaho trailer park plans to close it down this summer. The move comes about 5 years after over 90 residents of the Saringa Home Park filed a class action lawsuit against landlord Magar R for contaminated water. Magar must pay each plaintiff a portion of a $282,000 settlement. But with the approaching closure, they now need to find a new place to call home.
Anyway, I don't know. It's too bad it's closing. I didn't think, there's a lot of people here that got to move, and they didn't plan on it or nothing. There's a lot of old people here and stuff.
Residents have until June to pick up their belongings and move out. Many have turned to others for help in moving to a new park. Some residents say they never drank the water at Saringa. Instead, they used bottled water to cook and drink and showered with water from the pipes. On top of Easter and April Fools, the weekend also marked the largest yearly anime convention in the Pacific Northwest. I went to see how some guests chose to tap into the creative sides.
Every spring, thousands of people gather in Seattle to attend SakuraCon, a 3-day convention celebrating Japanese animation, media, and culture. Congoers often participate in cosplay, the act of wearing costumes or fashion accessories to represent specific characters typically from entertainment media.
Cosplay is something fun for everyone. It can be done no matter how old you are, no matter what race you are.
Jelena Wong from Vancouver, BC started cosplay in 2012 after volunteering at her first local convention. 6 years later, she still enjoys the hobby, often making costumes herself. For this year's SakuraCon, she decided to borrow one from a friend.
I just had to put on the uniform and then just do makeup, basic things, and then after that I had to put a wig cap on and then put the wig on top and then just secure it to my head so it doesn't fly off.
Some take hours, if not days of work, making costumes from scratch through arts and crafts. But cosplay can be as simple as grabbing a hoodie, a pair of gloves, and a musical instrument to become animated characters in no time flat. Henley Chui, also from Vancouver, does freelance cosplay photography at conventions like SakuraCon. He says it requires plenty of research and the ability to adapt on the fly.
What are their expressions? What kind of background would work amazingly? Are they action pose? Do they do sexy? Do they do cute?
While cosplay and cosplay photography may seem intimidating, both Jelena and Henley encourage those curious enough to try them out and to simply have fun. Afiq Hisham, Murrow News 8.
Well, I trust you had a good weekend in Seattle.
Yes, it was a good fun time.
Great to hear. On the way, President Trump's tariffs affect business across the country, including in Washington.
And a child had her own protest at a Mariners game when we return.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good? Oh, God. Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
International tensions may hurt some local farmers. Amid growing tensions regarding a trade war with China, cherry and apple farmers in Washington could soon face a drop in sales as China represents one of the state's largest customers. This comes as President Trump continues to blame China for a trade deficit between the two superpowers.
But we have a problem with China. They've created a trade deficit, and I really blame our representatives and, frankly, our preceding presidents for this.
The trade dispute involves multiple crops, including Washington-grown apples and cherries. As the top export market, China bought over $127 billion worth of cherries and about $50 million worth of apples from the state last year alone, leaving some wondering where they will sell their product.
Despite the start of April, drivers need to remain alert on the roads. A 27-year-old pregnant woman and her unborn child died in a single-car crash along Interstate I-90 near North Bend on Sunday. Washington State Patrol reported that the accident was caused by driving too fast for the snowy conditions. The other passengers in the car, a man and 2 other children, received minor injuries. 2 Seattle 6th graders took a stand against social injustice by kneeling during the national anthem at a Seattle Mariners game. One of the protesters attended the game with her school choir and took it as an opportunity to make a statement. Helena Gamet says she supports the Black Lives Matter movement and doesn't feel that society has made enough progress.
Well, hey, the Mariners won today, by the way.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah. On the way, Kui Hug has your weather forecast.
And we have the details you need for a free week of skiing when we come back.
Good one, son.
Last summer, my new dad took me on vacation. First, we went deep sea fishing. Wow!
I'm so proud of you, son.
And then we went on Thunder Shark. That was awesome! Let's go again. 3 times. I gotta say, it was pretty cool.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Oh, not again.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Well, April arrived Sunday, but we've already had a little bit of snow and a little bit of rain on the Palouse. Kui Hug joins us now to tell us which weather conditions will continue this week. What do you got for us, Kui?
Well, thanks, Matt. Hopefully this weather this week will not be the same of what we expected. The spring is not starting. If you were yesterday and today, it was really, really cold today. I would recommend wearing a sweatshirt and a long sleeve jacket so you can keep the wind away because it was a little breezy at 4 miles an hour, keeping it a little bit more. Even though it might not be spring quite we wanted it yet, it is starting to show in the weather forecast throughout the maps. We start on Pullman and the Spokane side, kind of like in the colder range, 49, experiencing that high wind because we're on a higher altitude. Tomorrow, we have all showers. I recommend bringing jackets so that the wind helps break that off. Hopefully with the new change in weather and keep going with spring analysts. And this on this week for the 5-day forecast, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all basically the same as size Monday. So hopefully Mom's Weekend towards the end lights up so we have all the moms out here for Pullman this weekend. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kui. Hopefully this weather won't affect snow on the mountains.
I'm kind of hoping it will dump snow in the mountains because we will tell you about how to get a free ski fix when Murrow News 8 continues.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it. Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Winter sports may stick around a little longer with a free week of skiing at 49 Degrees North Resort. From April 2nd through the 8th, you can head up the mountain after stopping by the ticket office to get a free pass. And I'm not sure about you guys, but I don't have a lot of money to go skiing, so that might actually get me to the mountains.
And I mean, it's snowing. It started yesterday, so might as well have free skiing.
Thanks for watching, and join us every single weeknight at 7 and 10 for Pullman's only nightly newscast.
Have a great night, and don't forget to follow Murrow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter.
Good night, Pullman.